One and all, how are you all tonight? Sorry about this afternoon. If you were watching and things got cut off, my internet went out for a bit, so I just decided not to start up the stream. I thought many people were watching. Hello, Metal.
Hello, hello, hello.
How
are you today?
I'm good. Share this out. I don't have anything really planned today, but I got some drawings David Finch did, as you can see, sort of, I guess. And tell me
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
I just figured I might try and color it in, see how it turns out. Since I've got everything major, something different, you know.
Yeah.
Although digitally coloring is something, it's all that different, but for me. What's on the agenda for you tonight?
Oh, just working on random stuff.
Oh, and Parlor's on the way to back being up. Not that I'm not sure how much you care or don't care.
Oh yeah, because I didn't like Parlor in the first place. I thought the place was stupid. I don't like that people had an alternative. I just think, I already had a much better alternative that I've been on for years, and everybody wants to go to stupid Parlor.
Yes, unfortunately sometimes it seems what's popular at any given moment. It's not completely up, but, at least you're not getting the error message.
Yeah, well, if they want to be viable long term and not worry about it, what they got to do is they have to have their own server and they have to get federated.
Yeah.
So that the feed could be interacted with from Mastodon. If you do that, no matter what they do to your app, you can still connect. Because then you just need, like, Tusky or some type of Mastodon app.
Yeah.
That's what Gab did.
Yeah, and Gab you can finally connect with, too. Not that you know.
Well, Gab you've been able to connect to on the phone for, like, a year now since they got federated.
Well, no, I just mean in the last, couple of weeks, I was having trouble getting on Gab.
Oh, that was just because of the swarm of people getting on it.
Yeah.
Gab servers, like,
What did I do?
I mean, at least they have their own server, but, it's a tiny thing. You get a bunch of people jumping on at once, and...
Yeah, that you're not prepared for. Hey, Ulrich, how are you? So we'll convert opacity to brightness. Okay. I need to create a folder. Cross. Are you hiding your talent on it? Or is this your cousin's art? Neither. This is another Canadian's art. This is Dave Finch. He had some stuff free for art that you could get, and I decided not to do much tonight. Didn't have anything big planned, so I was going to try and color it. So let's see, how many characters do we got here? We got Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Bucky. I think we got Namor there. Wolverine, Luke Cage.
Oh yeah, hello, Spider-Man.
Miss Marvel, and I think we got 2 torches. Yeah, John totally forgot that there was about Scribble tonight.
Yeah, well, even if you didn't forget, it's like, the lunch just ended like a little bit ago before he hopped on another stream.
Yeah.
So he had visitors. The best he could have done is at least warn people that he couldn't do it.
Marsupial ended his stream for Skedaddle. I kind of feel bad about that. Says Ulrich.
Yeah, he was tempted to start streaming again after eating.
Yeah, I gotta start doing my number 2. He's a whole team ahead of me now.
Pixel says that when John gets distracted and misses his own shows, he's going to start calling it Dillard Dallying. And that's a good one.
I don't see Pixel. Oh, I don't think it was in here, Ulrich.
No, it wasn't a DM. I just happened to see it at the same time that we were talking about Dillard missing Skedaddle. So I figured it was funny, so I'd bring it up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't any personal information, so I didn't feel like I was revealing anything that shouldn't be revealed.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I could have just stole his joke, but I'm not about that.
Okay, so I think we're gonna start off with Spidey. Here. I'm just gonna put the colors in for everybody. Main colors and shade later. My wanting to win that buckle hat, and it keeps getting higher as the week goes by. Says Ulrich. Well, hopefully you're saving up a little bit for getting the coloring book, Ulrich. Or are you planning on getting the coloring book, the Cross Comics coloring book?
I'll have you know, I don't plan anything.
And I was on Tank Ferret's stream yesterday. And
how's Tank doing?
He was doing good. I ended up creating. Oh, actually, I think it was because it was in the chat at first, and he did 2 streams yesterday of doing Skyrim, and one I was just in the chat when I was on the panel, but and Lorenzo was on the thing, or was it the reverse? Anyways, I ended up creating a perk called the Lorenzo.
Don't you always?
Well, I can't say always. I've only had one other campaign at this point, so.
Yeah, well, at this point, if you make a second one, now I'm going to say always. This is 2 for 2 now, right?
Yeah. Although I did think about it before I actually did it, like, before he mentioned about wanting
Well,
it
wasn't a comics. You weren't sure how interested he'd be in it, right?
Yeah. which is 2 of the comics and a digital copy for $15. Plus, shipping.
I think if I ever do a campaign, even if Lorenzo's not interested, before even asking him to make a perk called the Lorenzo, just to be part of the meme. People are gonna be like, "Who's Lorenzo? Why is this perk named that?" You're like showing up to a cafe, right? And there's like a regular that used to eat there, so you have an item named after the regular because that's what he always ordered. But the dude doesn't eat there anymore, and you still just have the item on your menu.
He says, I'd rather back the second issue of the Canadian Shield and Snowdrift. Hey, Hidden Gems, how are you? Well, that's going to be a few months away too, Albert. And this is actually fairly cheap. Well, I think anyways. $7 Canadian for the book plus, I think, 16 American for shipping, or Canadian for shipping. So it's what? That's 23. It's probably under $20 American.
How many galactic credits is that?
I have no idea.
Oh, darn, that's all I got.
I am doing good. Hidden Gems, how are you? Well, I already asked. You were asking me back.
You're gonna end up in a loop, Rick? You guys just asking how you are over and over again? Is this a syntax error?
Yeah. Oh, Cross, why aren't you coloring Spider-Man with a weird color palette? Because it looks so cool, apparently. Well, I don't know what you mean by weird color palette. I'm doing Spider-Man in his normal colors, so...
Well, Spider-Man looks okay with like the most saturated red you could possibly get. But if you're planning on shading him, you should probably pull that red down like 10%. Are you planning on shading him? I mean, with the way the black is, you actually probably could just flat this image in and be fine.
Yeah, well, I might shade it. I would probably doing some shading and lighting on it. But there is a lot to this to color, so I probably if I shade it and all that, I won't get to it tonight. But if
you're planning on it, I'm just saying I would bring the red down by like 10%. I see where your red is, right?
Yeah.
And you see how like the top row, right? So the x-axis on that is saturation, right? So if you bring it to only 90% saturation, just tilt it a little bit back from the corner, then when you do shade it, you've got more saturation to go to. If you get what I mean. It's just basic color theory.
Yeah, Jim thinks the red looks fine. I don't know why I colored that a little bit. Coloring over webbing. That's gonna be interesting, and I think I'm gonna have to have 2 different things for webbing. Stuff that goes over his hand and stuff that's behind.
Yeah, the webbing doesn't matter, Rick. I agree with Eagle.
There's a new Spider-Man costume that Marvel thought was a good idea. It really looks weird. Well, it doesn't matter at the moment, you're right, but eventually it will. It's one of the last things I will color. I won't even start to color the webbing today. But Spider-Man's actually had a few different costumes over the years.
Yeah, he is. A lot of them are vaguely similar to each other, though. Like, you should be able to look at any costume Spider-Man's wearing and be like, "Yep, that's Spider-Man." But I think that should be the case for like any iconic character, right? Like if that's what you're trying to build as an icon, no matter what they're wearing, you should be able to look at it and be like, "Yep, that's that character. I recognize them at a glance."
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. If you want to get, I think that's part of the thing. If you want them iconic, you've got to keep them in the same uniform. You can't be constantly changing it.
Yeah, or the uniform can only like incrementally change or something like that. Like you can add a belt to Superman because it separates the torso from the bottom half of the body.
Yeah, but he's always had a belt. It's just been they changed the look of the belt. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do if you change a little things. You can change how the gloves or the boots look slightly. Though you have to be careful because doing that has pissed off fans before.
Yeah. You never know what's going to tick off the fans.
His boots look slightly different. I'm angry.
Laugh out loud. Jim says, laugh out loud. Ripped shorts. Purple ripped shorts equals Hulk.
Pretty much. I mean,
Yeah,
what else does he wear? No, he has had armor and stuff before. He's had a couple different things.
Yeah, but again, that's his classic look. And when when they didn't do his classic look in that first Hulk movie.
Yeah. And you give him sweats because it's stretchy.
You know, give them the sweats. Just make sure they're purple. Maybe they'll rip a little.
Yeah.
You know, like in the legs.
Well, you got to be something other than red, right? And I think they realized that right away. As soon as gray wasn't going to work for a color palette, then they had to go green. There's one color they had to like X out. It's like if we make him red, it's going to be Christmassy. And then orange and green doesn't look well, so after process elimination, it's like it's either going to be blue and green or purple and green. What are we going to go with?
Yeah, and they wanted, well, also back then they did a lot of primary colors were heroes, secondary colors were villains. Not every single one, but.
Yeah. Well, Hulk, when he first came out, despite the fact that gray wasn't working for him, he kind of was in a gray area, so. They honestly could have made him whatever color they wanted to.
Yeah. Hey, Sketch. What's up? What are you coloring? Well, David Finch had some free pages of his that he did that you could download. And I grabbed them and I am coloring this piece here.
Yeah, Aquaman does have green and orange for his color palette, and his costume looks ugly. Like, usually to make it work, too, they even try to bring that orange closer to the golden area in modern day. Green and orange does not work very well. Unless you're, like, a super fan of a stupid football team whose colors are green and orange. And then it still doesn't work, you're just, biased towards it. Puppet Pals versus Major Glory and Valhalla is one of the best super fights ever. I agree. Rick, do you know what that is?
I think I do, but I'm not sure. Probably heard
It's
of it.
Justice Friends, which was a parody on Dexter's Lab. It was a short bit.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, and you had Major Glory, Valhalla, which is like Van Halen, Valhalla mixed together. He was a like Thor, but Eddie Van Halen. And then you had the Infragable Kronk.
Oh, I thought that was.
It was a purple Hulk with green shorts.
Wasn't that on the Ripping Friends? No. Or maybe it was Dexter's Lab.
Yeah, it was Dex. It was a little bit that you'd see on it from time to time. He had two different superhero shorts that would be on that show, too. Because there was also Monkey.
Yeah.
Let me tab over. So I have the chat on the phone because of what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, I do agree with that. So the saturation of the red is fine just because you're used to seeing Spider-Man with a pretty saturated red. That blue is definitely too saturated. And that's because, on average, Spider-Man's blue is closer to a navy color.
Well, I think they've done it a few different shades. I remember when it was bright blue like that.
That is way too saturated, though. Because you can't even bring it to anywhere to shade it, though, afterwards.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Going straight down, that's going to look awful. You want your shading to be more saturated than your base color. I mean, Rick, you can always just pull it back like 10-15%. It doesn't have to be much. Major Glory is Uncle Sam. He's kind of like halfway between Captain America and Superman. Monkey. Dial M for Monkey, which I believe was the name of an episode. Or was that the whole bit? I don't remember. That might have been just the name of the whole short. But like all of his episode titles were like parodies of titles of like famous comics or like series or even just like lines. And with the word monkey put in there. So like that's obviously a parody of Dial H for Hero. Yeah, the shadows are pretty bright blue. How are you doing the shadow? Like what layering? Are you just leaving it black and you went bright to opacity?
Yeah. Convert brightness or opacity, whatever. Convert whatever.
Yeah. You basically applied a layer mask, except instead of having to do the extra steps, Clip Studio has a single button that does it all for you.
Yeah, and it stays, basically.
Well, I mean, if you apply a layer mask, it stays. It basically, it just gives you the visual effect and gets rid of all the things causing the effect. That's how I do it. Because that cap one already looks a lot better. But I could see it's in a more appropriate zone. I don't know, your screen is also getting very pixely on me.
Yeah.
Very pixely.
Well, Cap's blue has always been that sort of blue, so I'm just trying to
it's kind of been like a darker version of sky blue. Which is weird, because he's supposed to be an American flag, and the American flag uses navy blue, right? But then he just has like a really deep-toned sky blue. Is it just me or is his screen blurry? I don't know. In Meets, his screen is just blurry, but I assume that's just Meets. It's always like that. It might just be you. You might have lost bandwidth. Because usually you look good on YouTube, even when you're blurry in Meet. Yo, okay, Go Dexter Family Go is my favorite episode of Dexter's Lab. With the giant kaiju. So the episode, Dexter was a foreign exchange student, right? He did like an exchange program, and he got into a fight because apparently all the kids at school have mechs of their own, like, or kind of like power suits, really. Because Dexter has his like power armor that would fold out of his backpack.
Like,
and then they got into a fight, and they accidentally launched rockets that woke up a kaiju that was hidden in Mount Fuji. And all like the superheroes that are in the Dexter lore showed up to try to fight it. And you see like this whole line of things that are associated with the Super Friends, which most of them are all just parodies of actual like comic book superheroes.
Yeah.
Including this one Capital G, who was like Giant Man, but he was like gangster. And he just got swatted away because he wasn't as big as the kaiju when he blew up. And basically to solve the problem, Dexter had to like use an experimental suit that or like mech that he built. It was like a Power Ranger Megazord made out of vehicles. And he needed his family to help him pilot it. And they were mad because they don't know he's other than Dee Dee, they don't know about all the stuff he does. But they were still losing, and then Monkey had to go inside the suit and use his power to like supercharge the Megazord, and then it was a pretty good episode. It's like all over the place.
Yeah.
Yes, the kaiju did have an axe for a nose.
I think I actually remember that.
He even had a song that was the same as the titles. Go, Dexter Family, go.
Okay, so I think the shield's blue is actually different than the blue on his suit. And I think I'm not sure whether this took out the lines that showed the different things for.
Yeah, it's a really good episode. It's a hard one not to remember. Like, it might not be one of those things that immediately comes to your head, but if somebody describes it, it's a very unique episode for the show. Really stands out.
Well, I'm not sure which order these go in. I know they're red, white, the stripes. I'm just not sure.
Well, I'm sure it could be pretty easy to see a reference photo on the internet.
Yeah. I just don't want to go look it up. I'm probably going to have to look up some of these guys anyways.
If I were to guess off the top of my head, I'm fairly certain the outer ring is red, and then it goes every other one from there.
Oh, yeah, you're talking that. I was talking the stripes on his uniform.
Oh, his uniform. I thought you meant the shield. Oh, yeah, no, that one I'd have to look at a reference, because as I'm, like, rotating in my head, it kind of looks different from each angle. I don't know. It asks you if Aquaman came before Namor. I think Namor came first, but I really don't know. I could be entirely wrong. That's just a gut feeling.
They were very close. I know that. This has been talked about before. So they're like within months of each other.
Yeah. I don't know. Right. That's all I can say on that. Like, don't hold me to anything.
Here, I'll look quickly as I look for.
Yeah, I'm sure there's got to be resources on that are quickly available.
Oh, it's just go to YouTube, Yahoo, or whatever. Oh, man. Comic. November 1941 for Aquaman. Early 39. Oh, so it was like maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's see. While I'm here, I might as well do Captain America.
Yeah, you're already out there, so. Yeah. So my gut feeling was correct in that one. That's nice.
Yeah, but they're fairly close too. Although.
No, I knew that. That's why, like, I just was not sure.
Yeah.
That was just like if my gut was going to say anything, it was going to just side with Namor. Who also has the slightly better design of the two of them. Not by much. Both of their designs are kind of just eh.
Actually, I like Aquaman's design better. That's supposed to be white, not red. Is Namor Marvel? Yes, he is Marvel. It's the one time.
The Submariner.
Yeah. Batman stole the shadow.
He's trying to get on Eagle's good side at the start of the chat. But it is factually true.
Actually, Batman didn't steal from the shadow. His creators did.
Yeah, if you want to be more precise, yes. The creators of Batman stole from the shadow. Which also means, if you want to be even more precise, they stole from the B-Team comic creation group for the Shadow. Which is why the actual copyright holder of the Shadow never noticed. It was the stuff he didn't work on.
This, I gotta. Well, I'm not really sure this is actually getting me the line, so.
Yeah, Gibson. Eagle with a tear coming from his eye. I've corrupted Elric, I'm so proud.
But Timothy says Bob King did not make anything. It was Bill Finger that made Batman. Made Batman.
Hey, no, the real person you have to blame is whoever was in editorial for over like Detective Comics that let them get away with it, right? Because if if you're an editor, you should be up to date with everything going on in your industry as much as possible. That way you know trends and directions and stuff like that. So you should be able to recognize if somebody is basically plagiarizing somebody else. And probably not let that be in the issue that you're putting out.
But then again, it was a very early time in comics, too.
Yeah, which also meant there was a lot less stuff you had to keep track of to be up to trends in the industry.
Well, I'm just thinking they weren't probably keeping track of too many trends at that point.
You should know your competition at least. And there weren't many icons as big as the Shadow at that time.
Yeah.
There were a couple, but not many.
Yeah, but he was also, I think at the time, more pulp novel, so, maybe...
Well, at that time, he was pulp, comic, and even involved in radio programs. Like, he was a pretty big name.
Mm.
And that'd be like, as big as names get, being an editor over at Marvel and seeing a Superman comic and ignoring it, and then watching somebody come and plagiarize and make a The Century comic that is the exact same plot and panel for panel ripoff of that Superman comic you didn't read. Doc Savage was always a pretty big icon at the time, too. It's kind of sad that these guys aren't really big icons anymore when you think about it. Like, whatever happened to the Phantom?
He changed his name and became the Buckler.
Oh, that explains everything. He didn't like his old image. He tried to start over from the ground up and see if he'd still be popular. Like when Stephen King wrote under a pseudonym. Is it my name that's selling it, or am I still that good? Pseudonym sells over 1 million copies. No, I'm still that good. Yeah, no, I was just using that as an example. Marvel and DC always openly rip each other off. It's, a lot of the same people end up working between both of them because of, they're all contract hires and they know each other. I think it's just they have a professional agreement that they don't care when they borrow ideas from each other anymore because they control the industry. They used to care a lot.
Yeah. You can see major, I don't know how many Superman ripoffs that Marvel has.
Oh yeah, they've got Hyperion's another one.
Hyperion, Gladiator.
Yeah, they've got a lot.
Sentry. I think one called Blue Marble. I think I've heard. So, Rick, why what?
It didn't start with the Stanley and Jack Kirby beef? No, I think it started way before that. I wouldn't be surprised if that accelerated things, but...
The whole Shazam thing was stupid with the lawsuits and everything. Yeah, but that didn't. Why did you diss? I did not diss the Buckler. It's something everybody
asked. To an iconic superhero like the Phantom a diss. I mean, the Phantom's pretty cool.
And the fact that, everybody thinks it, so I was just making a joke out of something everybody already asked until it.
Oh, but yeah, the Captain Marvel thing, yeah, that was one of the worst things that DC ever did.
Yeah, about Shazam with Fawcett Comics.
And I don't think anybody who knows the history is ever going to let them live it down. Not that they care.
The
Why would
crazy
you
thing,
care how much money you made?
the crazy thing is now. Well, they ended up buying not right away from them, and now they can't. They're not even calling him Captain Marvel. So.
Well, at least, you know, Steamboat's not around anymore. So one good thing came out of it.
Yeah. The Phantom ripped off the costume of the Buckler 80 years ago, so that's how Rick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Dillard thought of him first.
Down with the courts. Metal is correct. Currently watching Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, that's like one of my favorite movies. Easily top 5. I've seen it way too many times.
Oh, no. What color was.
Yes, well, it even tells you right at the beginning, based loosely off of Homer's Odyssey.
Yeah,
The main character is even his middle name is Ulysses Everett. I forget what his first name is though. I actually quoted that earlier because Buck told me something, and I just turned like, "That don't make no sense," which is the way one of the guys says it in the movie. I quote that movie a lot. One of my favorite parts is when the building is on fire and stuff, and they've got like the sheriff or the marshal and all of his like friends and stuff are trying to hunt them down, and he just keeps going, "Damn, we're in a tight spot," and he says it like 8 times. Does it have Circe turning men into animals? Not exactly, but they do reference that because when they go to the nymphs, right, and they wake back up after they stole their stuff. What's his face? The tall one is gone. I can't remember the character's name at the moment. And all they see is a horny toad in his place. And they thought he was turned into a horny toad like they were witches. So yeah, it's in the movie, but he didn't actually get turned into an animal. It's like, nah, I never was a horny toad. Well, you know, I know that now.
And Jim says the movie. He thinks the movie he quotes the most is
Pete.
Ace Ventura.
Well, alrighty then. We was fixing to fornicate. Yeah, John Goodman is the best Cyclops.
Actually, let's go black to the black first.
I have a buddy who like knew all of Ace Ventura, like Ace Ventura line for line. So when he would have line streaks, I would just like set him up for lines. He would read it off, and then he would follow up.
Just ripped off a branch of a tree. Smacks a bit.
I love like the movie sets up the twist like so early on if you're paying attention to in Ace Ventura. Like Einhorn, literally German for one horn, which is the one thing she didn't lose after the surgery. And there's all kinds of clues that are just laid along the way. It's actually a pretty well written movie. It deserves a lot more credit than it gets. As opposed to the second one, which I think it has some funnier scenes, and there is some foreshadowing, but it doesn't do nearly as good of a job of setting everything up. But I think it's a little bit more predictable than the first one, so they don't need to do as good of a job.
I don't know what color blue his eyes are exactly. And I don't know what color, is there anything that shows that? No trim.
Huh?
Oh, I'm just looking on the picture here, and there's just a little bit of trim that separates the scales from the mask. And I'm not sure what color it's supposed to be for sure. It's probably white. Probably white.
Is it? I thought it was just texturing. Because last I considered, I thought it just went all the way blue down. So the texturing would just be to actually show you the difference in the fabrics.
So you think it's just texturing?
I mean, it could be a version of the outfit that does have white trim. I don't know. You can double check, but like classically, I know Captain America is just single color until it hits the flag.
Yeah. I know. I was thinking it was. I don't even see anywhere with that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's always been.
I don't see anywhere with the trim. I would just being extra careful.
Yeah. Like most characters have had so many costumes, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a version like that, but my gut would just say that's not the case.
I can always change it later. It's not that hard. Skin tone looks good on Cap. Thanks. I might actually do one other thing. I wasn't going to, but no. Change canvas size. I'm just going to bring this.
You're too young for Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. What does that mean? I mean, it's a movie. You can go and watch it any time. I've seen movies that were out, like, before I was born. I've seen movies that were out before my parents were born, you know?
Same here. Hey, Reed. So Metal, what about Rick's abilities as a colorist? Timothy saying.
It depends. I'll have to see the end of this picture. I mean, I know for a fact you could be an okay flatter, but everybody can flat. I'm an okay flatter, you know? I think everybody should at least aim to be serviceable first. Which that's just me. I'm a serviceable colorist. And then after you're serviceable, you can aim to be, like, a great dynamic colorist.
Now, I think for Iron Man, you could go quite a few different ways. His armor allows you to do a bunch of different things.
Yeah, if you make it shiny, I like to go for, what's that color? That burnt orange color that's kind of brownish. That's like halfway between red and orange. Like that dark reddish orange.
Yeah, I think I'm going to save on him for now. I'm gonna do Luke Cage.
It was a Pet Detective, and the sequel is When Nature Calls, which I love too because it's a pee joke right in the title of the movie.
When the movie came out, I was too young, but I should give them a watch. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They're great movies. The first one better than the second, easily. But they're still all good, or both good. There's only two, I think.
Yeah. Well, there was the cartoon.
If there's like a secret animated Ace Ventura I've never seen, I'm gonna have to go and watch it.
Yeah, there was a cartoon.
Well, no, not a cartoon. I'm talking about like a movie. I've seen the cartoon.
Okay.
There was a Mask cartoon too. But that's why I'm thinking, like, the only thing, if there was an existence that I haven't seen, it would have to be like a TV movie that went with the cartoon or something. Which I don't think exists, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was one. The 1994 is when it came out? I'm pretty sure, despite how young I was, I saw that movie when it came out because my dad was watching it. But my dad let me watch a lot of things I probably should have been watching at that age. I would have been like 3.
Hey, Space, how are you? Space. I forgot. Where am I supposed to contact with you to give you that stuff? You're an all-star. You still here, Metal?
Yeah, I'm here. Why?
Oh, just you suddenly stopped talking, so I wasn't sure. Didn't I give you my email? You might have, but I think I forgot. If you did.
Hey. Yeah, so Elric was 6? Alright. Yeah, I don't think I saw it the year it came out, though. I don't think my dad did either, because I don't think he went to the theaters for it. But we did get it on VHS, like, as soon as it came out. I remember the first time I watched it was in my living room.
And I know...
So it would have been, like, 6 months after or whatever.
And I know, Elric, I'm going to go back later and correct it all. I'm trying to do the best I can, but no, I'm going to have to go back on a lot of this stuff and correct little bits here and there. Like I just went in too far on that. Plus, I gotta find out some of the coloring for Fury, or not Fury, Luke. So we're gonna lock Luke for now. We're gonna lock Spider-Man, lock Captain America. Okay, let's do Iron Man, I guess. Okay, so let's...
oh, thank you. It bless you in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some tension in the DMs. Remember I told you about the dilly-dallying thing? Now Jason's like, you stole that from me, Pixel. And then he posted the thing that he was like copying and pasting in Diller's chat. It's like, don't wait, no dilly-dallying, go order the buckler on Indiegogo now.
Shit.
We've got a thief in the mists. What do we do about that?
Nothing.
I'm sure the problem will solve itself. This is the type of drama people want, Rick. Stuff that can be tense but has absolutely no consequences to it whatsoever.
Yeah, I guess that might be alright. And hello, Arlene. How are you? Long time no see. Or no chat, something like that. Trying to figure out what I want to do. What color I want to do everything. Okay, I gotta get more reddish. Only an hour or two, says early. Yeah. Oh, and I'm up to 180.
Every so often have to tab over to see how you're doing.
Up to 183 on Canadian. That is on my Indiegogo.
On your coloring book?
Yeah. Not counting the money that I'm going to get from my dad. And probably a couple other people for live. Oh, did I? Apparently. That one was Spidey. Oh, why is Spider-Man not showing his colors?
What do you mean? Let me look. Oh, yeah, he is not colored at the moment. Did you turn something off?
Oh, I think I accidentally opaqued the folder.
Okay, they changed the transparency to it, yeah.
Hey there we go, there's change. That's neat. Okay, so I did that accidentally and didn't even realize I'm coloring Iron Man here, and I'm like, what the heck happened to
I blame you, Rick.
for what?
For doing things.
Okay. You say so.
Yeah, take that.
Okay, so probably going to be switching back and forth a lot between my gold and my red for him as I figure out what I want.
Rick, when are we gonna have a stream where we just sing sea shanties all day?
What the heck are sea shanties?
Sea shanties?
Yeah, sea shanties.
You know, the type of songs you sing while sailing out on the sea?
I don't know. I'm not sure whether people really want a stream like that with me singing.
Everybody wants you to sing sea shanties, trust me.
Oh, they might want it for about a minute or two, and then they'll be begging me to stop. And I'll have no content for the rest of it.
I don't know. What if we turn it into a drinking game?
Unless it's drinking pop.
Not for you, for the viewers.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you do with a drunken sailor?
So early in the morning.
The only problem is we couldn't do a group sing-along because of the live delay of communicating over the internet. That we'd all be off pace from each other. Though that might add to it, especially if it was a drinking game. It would be like a really messed up round of row, row, row your boat.
No. Oh, what? Arlene says, no, don't listen to John. He's going to get you in trouble.
Where's John? I'll have you know that sea shanties are all old enough to be public domain. Well, at least all the ones anybody wants to sing.
Oh, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? So early in the morning.
No, this is metal. There.
Oh, did I keep me right? No, I've got metal here, not John.
You know what's funny is Dillard brought it up too, and a couple other people did, but I just don't hear it. That he says that our voices are too similar for people who don't know us to really distinguish if they're not really paying attention. And like, I don't know, but to me we sound nothing alike.
I did not know their voices yet. Well, metal is usually on here at this time. Dillard's usually not. That might help.
And if he does jump on, he'll jump on at like the last minute and extend the stream for another hour. How many times has that happened?
Too many? I don't know.
Apparently I'm John now, and John is now Brandon.
I thought you were Brandon.
Well, I'm John now, so John has to be Brandon. These are Eagles rules. I'm not making them up.
Okay, so we're gonna. I just select that. I want to do Wolverine skin. Right there, I want to do Wolverine, part of Wolverine.
Well, I think of all the ones that you're not allowed to mess up. It's Wolverine, right? Because you can't mess up a fellow Canadian.
Yeah. Now, Metal, pitch us your failed psychic character that goes dark. Says.
No. What is this? Pixar's The Incredibles? I am Syndrome, your nemesis! Voiced by the wonderful Jason Lee.
No capes. Says.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that is what got him in the end, wasn't it? Now, that was a good use of foreshadowing, right? Having Edna go on this whole rant about all these people dying from capes, so what finally gets Syndrome in the end? Him having a cape. You always got to pay attention to stuff like that when it comes to writing. It's good methodology. I think that's why I was so disappointed in the second Incredibles, though. It actually wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah.
By any means, but it just was like, I don't know, kind of boring and not as well polished as the original was. And you kind of expect that from some sequels, but I don't know. You had such high expectations from the original Incredibles.
Yeah. Some ways I like that it ended. It started where the last one ended, but in some ways I don't.
Well, especially because like they already got a sequel that was better if you were going to follow it up from where it ended in the Incredibles video game with the Rise of the Underminer.
Yeah.
So if you're going to pick up right where it left off, why not just, do a better version of the plot from the video game?
Yeah. Okay, right. Why is this really a different color than what I originally picked? Okay, I think I got it. The right color now. Okay, there we go. No.
Oh, hey, I just noticed, because I didn't hear all the characters you were mentioning earlier, but I see that, my former favorite Marvel character is actually there flying in the background, right
Miss
above
Marvel?
Wolverine's head.
Miss Marvel?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually used to really like Carol before, modern comics ruined her. Like, right up to maybe, 2012 with the whole X-Men versus Avengers thing? Where they, made her Captain Marvel and then shoved a stick up her butt.
No, was it? No, I don't think that's quite what it was. I think it was when Scarlet Witch. Somebody remade the world and she was a bigger hero in that when she came back. Oh, I want to be famous like I was in that other timeline.
Yeah. I know she already had that attitude in the Avengers versus X-Men thing, though. And I mean, I get it. If anybody's going to take over the mantle of Captain Marvel, there's very few people you'd pick. And she was the most popular of the options at the time, but I think it was the worst thing that ever happened to her.
Yeah.
Of course, the thing is, she was never that popular of a character. There's people who liked her, but she was always kind of like a B-lister at best. D-lister on average.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they tried to make her into Wonder Woman, in my opinion. And, well, she's not Wonder Woman to begin with. Not even close.
Yeah.
You would have been better somehow promoting Princess Projecta, I think it is, from the Squadron Supreme.
No, I don't think that'd be the route to go. Because there's not, a very good opinion of the Squadron Supreme among people.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying because she is supposed to be the Wonder Woman knockoff,
Yeah, but I think there would be a smarter route to do that, and that would actually to pick another D-lister, but to use her connection to an A-lister to boost it. Right? Because Marvel is kind of like, I wouldn't say the first, but the most successful attempt at a Superman knockoff that they had. So that actually puts Carol closer to a Supergirl, Power Girl type character, right?
Yeah.
Valkyrie, on the other hand, I think it would have been easier to convince people to actually bump her up to be more of a Wonder Woman type character. Despite being consistently a D-lister, but that's also because of her work with the Defenders.
Yeah, I could see that, I think. Although I don't know a lot about Valkyrie, but, her connection with gods and all that,
Yeah, and I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to give her a buff either, and it'd be reasonable, because, Thor's really strong, and when you look at, the scaling of the Asgardians, the Valkyrie are supposed to be, their, elite ops group or whatever, and they're kind of consistently stronger than the other Asgardians, but weaker than the royal family.
Yeah.
And because she's like the head of the Valkyrie unit, it'd be pretty easy to give her a buff to be closer to like what you would expect a Wonder Woman type character to be.
Yeah. Why do they feel the need to jack around the characters? Who knows? Actually,
I don't know.
I think it was a comic that they did recently. Well, maybe not so recently, where they had some Amazons out on some sort of quest wandering the world. I'm not sure whether it was a cartoon or an actual comic, but they ran into the Valkyries and they were the Amazons of, the Norse.
Well, that's the thing. Another reason why I bring it up. In mythology, the Valkyrie and the Amazon serve the same purpose, just in different mythologies. Like, the Amazon are like the Grecian version of Valkyries. They do the same thing.
So, yeah, I guess I could see Valkyrie. But to me, it would be Valkyrie or Princess Projecta. I don't know any other characters that would be good for being their Wonder Woman.
Their flagship female character.
Yeah. Then again, maybe they should have just stuck with what they had. They have a lot of popular female characters, but they're not on their own, and that's all right.
But they also don't need to be crazy powerful either, right? That's the thing that I get, because they keep trying to make somebody else the flagship, period. Like right now, Captain Marvel, they're trying to make her not the Wonder Woman, but the Superman, right? They're trying to make her the flagship, and it's never going to take. Because Spider-Man will always be the most popular Marvel character. And he's not like this cosmically powerful being.
Yeah.
And I think it's them having a core misunderstanding about what the people actually want from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a weird thing too, right? Because I think she actually used to be stronger than him. But Volstag's got a lot of buffs, especially if you went, becoming War Thor and stuff like that. And even though it was a different world, they've mixed things together and everything. So Volstagg is actually now stronger than Brynhild, and that honestly doesn't make sense because she hasn't got a buff in forever. She doesn't scale to the world the way she used to. But they also don't ever use her. That's a big problem. So you get this character just sitting in the background. I think that upsets a lot of people, because a lot of people's favorite characters, even if they might be a minority in liking them, they just kind of sit in the background and never get used.
Yeah. Iron Man's slowly coming together. What do you think so far? Now you gotta switch over.
It's alright. It's a decent choice for colors. Of course, you always have to pick your flat colors with the intention of what you're going to do with the lighting afterwards. If you were just leaving it flat, that's a good choice for colors.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're going to do with the shading, though.
Yeah, neither do I. Well, luckily I've got like 20, just over half an hour. I don't think I've got to worry about it today. uh, I'm not sure even what colors to go with for the legs now. I might change these things up and make them red and make the legs golden.
I don't know.
I think the legs are golden, aren't they? I don't have. I should look up an Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Iron Man in general. Aside from the cartoon, and then when Downey started playing him, I was never too into Iron Man. I tried reading his comics, and it's just his personality turned me off a lot. So I don't have a really good picture of his like individual color schemes in my head.
Well, it's usually red and gold or red and.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm talking about like where each piece goes.
Yeah, me neither. Let's see. Maybe I'll do Miss Marvel right now. There's not a lot for her. Okay, so let's see. Skin tone, black boots, yellow sat. Okay. So we'll come back to him in a bit. Let's come here, Miss Marvel. Usually the upper legs are gold, and the shins and the boots are red. Yeah, I was thinking maybe that. So,
That sounds right. I just don't have a good picture of Iron Man in my head.
and I still got to do the wing thing on Wolverine. I'm not sure whether I like the way he did it. I actually have to do the eyes too. Take the eye out. There's just small details. Oh, I don't like that color. Actually, maybe it's not so bad. You can always change it later. Gosh, you didn't fix your mistake. What mistake? Are you talking like coloring out of the lines? I fix coloring out of the lines later when I'm done filling in all the colors. Namor should be pretty simple. Slightly tanned skin tone, black hair, green trunks.
Now, Submariner, that's a character I like. Who they also don't do as enough with these days. It's only mostly upper body, right?
What?
You don't go far enough down that you can see the wingtips on his boots or his feet.
I don't think so.
I didn't look at the picture. I'm pretty sure you don't see anybody's feet unless they're flying or up in the air.
The only one I think you're seeing the feet of is Spidey. Maybe,
yeah, because he's like right in the center, swinging at you.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
Joshua, that's not my drawing. This is just my coloring. This is David Finch. Actually, probably when I'm done coloring it, I might actually send it to him.
Are you soliciting and harassing artists now, Rick?
No, I'm just going to say, hey, what do you think of my coloring job on your picture?
You're just gonna send it back to be like, no solicitors.
Not soliciting, I'm just not trying to get anything at all. Not yet.
Yet.
It's just more trying to get his interest. Who drew it? David Finch. Yeah. Is a page from the coloring book? No, this is not a page from the coloring book. I cannot have these characters in my coloring book. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't, so I shan't, so I won't, so I don't, so I won't. I'm not harassing Cross, I'm just having fun. Yeah, I know.
I'm harassing Cross because it's fun. So there. Take that, Elric.
Loud says hidden gems. Okay, so I think I got all her colors except for she has a lighter shine, or is it the lighting? I'm not sure.
I mean, look. What's the question? She has lighter skin, or is it the lighting?
Well, I did do a slightly different skin tone. I was gonna change it, but I think it's decent.
That looks like the type of skin tone you would see in a classic comic that isn't going to have any shading on it whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that a lot of that too is the limited colors the printers had at the time.
I have to wash out some paint brushes. Be back in a bit. Okay. Later. I can't believe they changed Miss. Believe they changed Miss Marvel from this to some loser in a pillowcase. Yeah, me too.
Especially if they went back to something closer to her older outfit. They could have modified it, give her some nice under boob. I'm just saying, she had potential.
Well, I never even noticed the wasp in there. Yeah, make another. folder here. Oh. Stop doing that. Now, does that look good, or should I make that black a little black, that gray a little blacker?
No, you don't want to make it any blacker.
Ah.
I mean, one, you're already going to use the black for the shading, right?
Yeah.
So you're already not going anywhere. That's fine. But then you also have to remember that you're probably going to put a sheen on that too. So you need somewhere in the midtones. You don't want to go any darker than that.
Yeah. Here's Miss Marvel. Okay, let's come back to Iron Man. Okay, so let's grab his red. Let's come here. Grab that. And that. Actually, we'll delete it here. Come up here. And fill it red. Potential, those huge tracks lanes are more than just potential. Gotta love Elric and his huge tracts of land. And she's hot, she's thick, she's thick in all the right places, and she's powerful. Green power supply. You mean my love for your chicken? Any way you want to put it, Elric, I think. Oh, maybe that's the wrong choice of words.
Yeah, that is true. What Travis said.
Weird fact, with Miss Marvel and Spider-Man both in this picture, that makes the two women who gave birth to cosmically powered beings without fathers.
I don't remember as much about Spider-Woman's, but I remember that Carol's didn't even last a week, the presidency. It was like over fast.
Okay, I still got a couple of things I need to do with Iron Man, but
No, this was old, Elric. This was old.
okay, so let's try Bucky. Okay, so blue with red buttons, black belt. Oh, I didn't notice Cap had his other hand there. So we're gonna do something with Cap here first. Or he says, oh, okay, good. Okay, so we got.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okie dokie, Smokey. Okay, so there's Bucky. I'm gonna take the Captain America blue if we can. Display color. And we're gonna just darken it just a little.
Okie dokes. I am here.
Yay!
Man, I'm so used to seeing him in his more modern outfits that always throws me off when I see like classic Bucky's color scheme.
Yeah, I had to go look it up to be sure.
Yeah, it's because he's been things like Winter Soldier and White Wolf for so long now. It's just like it's stuck in your head.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, I think I read that already.
Yeah, that's old.
Okay, let's go back to. Okay, blue trunks. Oh, actually, I think it depends on which one you go with. There's one with red trunks, but I'm gonna go with the blue. I think that's about Grab the red. Bucky is kind of like a Robin. In that way, he kept wearing short shorts long after he was old enough to make it awkward.
He's also like a Robin in the fact that he's kind of like grown into his own weird hero identity.
Yeah, he's Dick Grayson in Bucky, but more like Jason Todd in Winter
Pretty much
Soldier.
everything else.
I want to make that a bit later. Uh, Still. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. Closer to Jason Todd than Dick. I just more mean when he was the original Bucky. He was all
Yeah.
uh, get up and go and all that in personality, but definitely more.
Yeah, I mean, Jason was kind of a go-getter as a kid, but not in the positive way.
Okay, what color is Bucky's hair? Brown. Yeah, I still gotta do Luke Cage's pants. Oh, I think I got and Wolverine's pants. It was confusing. Luke Cage's pants. And I thought part of
Most people
Wolverine.
like, why am I so tired? I passed out right after dinner and then had a dream that the brakes in my car went out. Yeah, hopefully we weren't sliding towards a cliffside when they went out.
Well, at least you didn't miss Grabattle. What you were watching caused you to dream that marsupial.
I don't know. I know that he. Well, I don't think he was accidentally gave me view time because he would have been watching anyway. But I got view time while he was asleep because he passed out while I was streaming this morning, and then he woke up like I don't know. What was it, 5-ish here? And he's like, "You're still going?" I streamed Octopath for 4.5 hours this morning.
Cool. I know, John Dillon missed Grabattle, says. No colors in it. I think Nemo's hair is black. Yeah, the computer was on next to my face with Metal just blabbing about Octopathy.
That's what I do.
Oh, how is things coming for doing art together, Marsupial? You know, Ark, I thought we were gonna get on a server together. Play Ark. The visual novel. No, Ark. The video game. Okay, who do we got left? We got Spider Woman left. What is Octopathy, a game? Yeah.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler is an RPG, much like a Final Fantasy game. That came out in 2018. And if a Final Fantasy game is typically a Shakespearean tale, Octopath is more of a Chaucerian, much like the Canterbury Tales. And you follow 8 people around, hence the word Octopath. Each of their names also spell out the word Octopath. And do several different quests figuring out their story arc. It's very fun. It was my game of the year for 2018. Highly recommended. Or you could go and watch my play log, I guess, if you don't feel like playing the game.
No. Oh, what? What's that a question? I'm ready whenever you are. Okay, well, ready whenever you are too. Let's see, Luke Cage. Let's open that up. Yeah, I don't even know where that came from. Well, you just gotta, who's, I guess we gotta figure out who's doing the server thing there and all that. I thought you were gonna set it up. But okay, so we just got time for Wolverine here.
Yeah, I finally remembered the names of a couple of the visual novels I was trying to think of last night, and I sent them to Marsupial, kind of just like out of the blue.
Uh,
Or I guess this morning. It feels like last night to me, but it's morning for literally any other person. Well, unless they're on the other side of the world, I guess. But he asked during the stream, and like, I've actually played a lot, but right now I'm blanking on the name of like half of them. Especially because some of them I only know the Japanese names of, and trying to rile that out, I'll probably slaughter him.
I just woke up.
But I sent him a few.
Okay. Marsupial. So, it's nowhere near complete. We didn't get 3 characters colored in. Well, 3 1/4. Both of the different, it looks like Human Torches and Spider-Woman. So, I'll save this. It was Invaders. We're gonna save it as colors for David Finch's Invaders. And I'm just going to show a couple other ones off that I thought about doing. Actually, some of them actually more need to be inked than first. So there's this Justice League one that I thought of doing. A Hulk cover with Spider-Man, or a Hulk or something, issue 2, page 4. Batman, not gonna, BM King 16, page 4.
Wait, what was it again? BM King?
Or BMKing?
But where's the label?
Right up there.
I can't read it.
B, it's got a capital B, capital M, capital K, ING, 16, PG, 4, and then done.
Okay, is that like the Batman Metal series with Tom King at issue 16, page 4? Is that what that's supposed to mean?
It could, I guess.
I'm trying to decipher it for you, Rick.
Seeing as how Batman's in there, it could very well be that. And then there's this Spidey one. Which is BK1, page 11. So, with it being Spider-Man, I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm trying to help, but
Yeah.
you're the one who saved these things. I don't know where they came from.
Well, they came from David Finch, and here's Avengers 501, pages 4.
I don't know what Finch has worked on lately, so I couldn't even tell you what books they are.
Yeah. Here, I think you got a Savage She-Hulk, you got Captain America down, and I'm not sure who else in there.
Problem is, you have a great artist like Finch, and like I wouldn't even read most of the books he'd probably work on just because I don't care about the writers. It's like, yeah, the art's gonna look good, but the book's probably gonna suck.
No. Sure.
But I'm gonna, I'm the opposite of a lot of people when it comes to it, because some people, the art is what sells them on the book. I couldn't care less what the art looks like, as long as it's servicing the story. Like, the art's just the advertisement to get me to look at the book in the first place. But if I flip through and the story doesn't look like it's worth reading, I'm not gonna care about the art whatsoever.
I'm just going to show off the last other few pages I got from him. I've got some stuff on tutorial for hands and male torso. So we got an X-Men here cover. Angel, Emma Frost, Cyclops, Wolverine, Beast, and Spidey versus I'm not sure who. Red Hulk cover. Not that you'd be able to tell much difference. Batman. Brightest Day with Deadpool. Not Deadpool. Deadman. Batman Returns. And Batman with Gotham, I think the Gotham Knights or whatever they're called. The wannabe Superman Bat thing. I think people know who they are. No, this is not my coloring book. This is stuff that I got from David Finch. I was just coloring this piece of his. So we didn't quite finish it, and we got to do a lot of touch-ups too. So, but it is looking good, I would say. The hair made it look more like the regular Hulk, because Red Hulk usually has more like a messy crew cut due to it being Ross. Yeah. So with that, I guess we will catch everyone later. Thanks, Metal, for being on the panel, as always. And thanks for everybody out in the chat for stopping by and listening and watching. We might do one of these tomorrow since I don't have any pages to color of the Canadian Shield. a long look into seeing what's happening with page 6. So we'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great night. Love you all.